Hi, so I wanted to do a review on the Oris Artelier skeleton. So this model here came out around the end of the 2000s, or possibly around 2010, 2011. This particular watch in front of you was purchased in 2011 and 2012, I believe, if I'm an authorized dealer. I guess before we get into anything, let's talk about the measurements. So the first measurement would be, I guess, the overall length from here to here. That measures to be 44.64 millimeters. For the case and the crown together, that would be 43.21 millimeters. The dial itself from here to here, that is 34.30 millimeters. And of course the case, as advertised, is 40 millimeters. The thickness of this guy is 10.56 millimeters. And I guess the lug distance here to here, that is 21 millimeters. So as you can see, it's a nice size watch. 40 millimeters is a very comfortable watch for most people. And it's great for a dress watch too. The thickness being around 10 millimeters, that's a great thickness. It fits under shirts really well. It doesn't stand out too much. And it's a very comfortable watch to wear. So let's talk about the strap here. So the strap is a leather strap. I've had this watch on this strap for pretty much since I got it. This is pretty much what I wear it on, and the strap looks really good still. I can't say I actually wear the watch too much. I don't wear dressy watches very often. I'm mainly a sports watch type of person, but the strap itself held up really well. It feels really high quality. It's padded at some areas, and it tapers down. So over here you're going to have a thicker. From here it's a little thicker. Then as it goes over here, it becomes thinner, which is pretty standard for most of these straps. The Deployant, on the other hand, is really good. I think this is one of the best deployments out there. Again, just has these two pushers here to open and close the Deployant. What I like here is because it has one of these notches here that goes into the strap, and on the other side it has another notch too, so you kind of have some redundancy there. It holds the strap much better. If you put a lot of pressure on the strap, you're putting pressure on both of these holes here, so you're not going to make a big hole into the strap here. That's something I like. Other than that, it's a good strap. Let's talk about the movement here. So this is SW200 by Selita. The movement is somewhat accurate. I didn't measure it when I got the watch, but I measured it about a week ago. It's 10 seconds ahead, which isn't too bad. But yeah, since I don't wear it too much, I don't really care too much about the accuracy of this guy. But 10 seconds it's not a COSC watch, but it never was advertised to be, so I guess it's kind of expected. The movement winds, it's kind of tough to wind. It doesn't really have a nice feel to it. It's kind of, you kind of feel like you're forcing it in a way. And let's see. And as you can see in the back here, you can see the rotor. It kind of moves around a lot, so it's not a smooth wind, but it does wind. But the thing I don't like about this is, let's say if you have it winding horizontally like this, you're going to actually move the rotor around. So you're winding, I'm not sure if it's actually winding it at this point, but I don't think that's really good. So when you do wind this one, you actually kind of have to have it actual like vertical like this, with 6 o'clock facing downward. This way gravity kind of puts some pressure on the rotor, and you can actually get some winds in. And that's kind of not optimal, but it is what it is. It gets the job done, but the movement itself could be much more user-friendly. So let's look at the back here. So the back here, you can see the movement, and the rotor doesn't actually move very smoothly. I'll probably show you a better shot after I take off the strap here of how it moves, and if it's kind of rough. Yeah, you kind of have to hit it around in order to actually get you to move. It's not a smooth rotor for sure. So let's talk about the crystal here. So the front is sapphire crystal. It's slightly domed. There's no AR coating to it, which you can tell because it's kind of having problems focusing on the actual dial. On the back here, it has an open case back. this is actually mineral crystal, which is kind of weird. You'd expect at this price point to have both sapphire crystal in the front and sapphire crystal in the back. It doesn't get scratched up because it's kind of small, and because if I'm on a strap here, nothing's really going to make contact to it. So I guess they kind of saw that it's not really, you don't really need to put sapphire back there, just because it's not going to get a lot of nicks on it. But I don't know, I kind of felt that it should have had sapphire just because it's more of a regular thing at this price point. Around here you can see, let's get some focus there. On the edges here you can see some etched text. Just pretty much says it's Oris, a model number, sapphire crystal on the front, stainless steel, 30 meters of water resistance, I believe. And that's kind of it. So let's take off this strap. So here's the watch again with no strap or no bracelet. So this is kind of what I was talking about before. The movement doesn't move too smooth. It kind of is kind of rough. So let's hold it horizontally here. We'll wind up the movement, and you can see that in the back the rotor is, oops, if you have it leveled, it kind of moves the rotor around with the winding of the movement. I find that when I put this in a watch winder, like you can see there, it doesn't move too much. It doesn't actually wind the watch. So after some hours, it's just not going to wind, and the movement will stop keeping time, which is okay. It doesn't have a date compilation or anything, so it's easy to just set the time. But you can see it could be a lot smoother. I guess it's kind of nitpicky, but I don't know. I feel like it's not a cheap watch, so it shouldn't be doing something like this. But this is not really about, I guess, a time for service. It's kind of acted like this since the day I got the watch, when it was brand new. So I feel like, yeah, this is just the way it is. It hasn't degraded over time, so it still kind of does what it did before. So here it is again on a bracelet. So this is a stainless steel bracelet. It has a combination of brushed and polished steel. The bracelet is actually really comfortable and very sturdy. At the back here we have a deployment clasp, like a butterfly one, so it comes out on both sides. It doesn't have one of those kind of traditional clasps. I guess in this case the reasoning for that is the bracelet kind of it's integrated into the clasp. It looks more dressy, it looks a little nicer. But the bracelet itself is very good quality. It's not going to pinch your hair on the wrist, so it's good. And that's generally how it looks like. Again, I prefer it on the strap, but the bracelet is a good alternative too, and you might like that more than I do. So just something to consider. Of course, the watch doesn't come with both, so I had to pick up one of them. Well, in this case, I had to pick up the strap on its own. And it wasn't too bad. So my general rule is when I buy watches, I like to buy them on the bracelets. The bracelets generally cost more aftermarket, so buy these and then pick up the strap after. But that is kind of it. I hope you enjoyed this review of the Oris Artelier skeleton. Thanks for watching.